Whoops. Reason number one. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my god, it's so nice out today. What's going on, guys? Motonosity here. Back with day 2 of Vlogmas. And we've got good weather finally. It's still a little wet, but woke up to no rain this morning, just waiting for the sun to come out, and it eventually did. It's starting to dry things up, and it's like, I don't know, 60, 65 degrees. I'm so happy. I know you guys always want to see wheelies. I gotta work on them. They're getting a little bit better here and there. I'm starting to kind of get back some of the progress that I had made back when I was practicing all the time. I just don't practice. Whenever I get someone new that comes to the channel and they watch me on my Supermoto and they don't see me popping wheelies, they're like, why? I just don't practice them. Back when I was living in Austin, before Fry moved, me, Fry, Hunter Honda, Evo Moto, we would all go out and just like practice. It wasn't often, but even those days here and there, when we would just hit a lot and go practice for a while, I was making progress. But then Fry moved away, and Hunter and Evo got busy, and I just never really went out and practiced much on my own, except for those like few videos here and there, if you remember back when I was like gung-ho on making some progress. But then we started getting busy selling our house, and it kind of went by the wayside. Oh man, I love this thing though. That was a really bad one. All this shade out here, the sun hasn't really hit it, so it's still a little bit wet. Then you got all these leaves on the ground that are just like soaked through. Nope. That was a little bit better. See, look at this. All these tree leaves. Not safe. Oh, but anyways, so today, day 2 of Vlogmas. If you didn't hear in my last video, I'm going to be vlogging every single day until Christmas. And if I can hold it longer than that, I'll try. Because I'm going to be going back to Texas. And so there may be a few days thereafter where I know I'm going to be able to have content, because I'm going to be filming anyways. So we'll see. It might happen that I just end up continuing through the new year. After that, I can't make any guarantees. I can't even make any guarantees for this month. One bad sickness with Aylin, and my whole plan goes to crap. So I'm gonna do my best. But here we are at day 2, and I really want to bring you guys some good stuff this month. I don't want it to just be short, little junky, crappy vlogs each day just to say that I did it. I actually want to bring you some really good stuff. So I got a whole list of videos that I've been meaning to make for a long time, and this is one of them. I made one for each of my other bikes. I made one for my R1 back when I had that, and I don't know, it's just kind of a little fun thing to do. It's not like super serious. If I actually hated any of the vehicles that I had, I wouldn't I wouldn't be keeping the bikes. So don't take it too seriously. I'm not really complaining about any of this stuff. It's really just really nitpicky. Jeez, look at this thing. That is old. That refrigerator straight up looks like it's from 1905. Look at this thing. Does someone actually live in this house? It looks like it's 200 years old. And by the way, this is things about my CRF450R. It's a 2015. But it's about my 450, so I've done a whole lot to it. Some of these things I talk about may not apply to a stock 450. I'm just talking about mine and how I've set it up. But that's the thing, like, I built this bike to how I wanted it to be. There isn't really a whole lot that I don't like about it because I made it how I wanted it to be. But without beating around the bush for too long, let's jump into it. First things first is actually something that I could change. I just don't feel like it. That is the bar height on the bike. Now, I kind of just used the height that I had on my WR250 for the bar height that I chose on these. I can't remember which bars that I chose. I think they're the Pro Taper CR High, but I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure they are though. They worked really, really well on my WR250, but with the ergonomics and kind of the positioning of this bike, it's just not my favorite. I feel like my hands are a little bit higher than I'd prefer to have them, and not by a whole lot, just a little bit. So if I were to change it, I'd get some other bars that were just a hair bit straighter than these are. I got these like super nicely powder coated, and I got all this stuff connected. I mean, okay, it really wouldn't be a whole lot of work, but I'm too lazy and it doesn't bother me that much. But hey, it wouldn't have been a very interesting title if I named this 5 things that I'm mildly annoyed with sometimes. Number 2 on 5 things that I hate about my Honda CRF450. By the way, look at these trees. I'm gonna say it every single video during the fall. I freaking love the trees. So many colors. It's so nice. And number 2 and number 3 are things that, you know, it's just the nature of the beast. Number 2 is that I've got no 6th gear. And of course, first things first, you're gonna say, well, duh, you bought a motocross bike. Of course it's not gonna have a 6th gear. Then you would be correct. But, you know, if I had to come up with things that I hate, I guess I wish it had a 6th gear. And it's not really a huge issue. Like, it doesn't have any problem. It's just like when I'm on the highway and I'm really up in speed, which isn't very often because I hate just like sitting at high speed on my Supermoto. But when I am, I just feel like I'm really wringing it out unnecessarily. So freaking fast though. Like, that was 70 right there and I wasn't even trying. Should we hit a daily 100? Should we try to make that happen? I don't really have a highway here, so like there, I just went to shift just because, like, what I'm used to, I feel like there should be another gear there, but there's not. And number 3 for things that I hate is also something that's just the nature of this bike, but is actually not an issue on the newer CRF450Rs, and that's no electric start. The new ones have it. This one doesn't, but the new ones have it. And it's not really a big issue. This thing really starts just fine with the kickstart. It's just that when I'm out messing with friends off-road, and you know, we're crawling around just doing slow speed stuff, which this bike isn't really meant for, and I'm dying left and right, it gets old having to kickstart the thing. I got a cop up there, so I'm trying not to get too close to him. I don't want to have to deal with his shenanigans. Let's just turn here. I don't even know what road this is, but oh, I'm probably like going into a freaking neighborhood or something. What about this? This looks fun. Dead end. Also, it's covered in brush. Look at this. I got like 3 feet of road that's not covered. Okay, it ends right there. This actually might be a fun place. Nope, there's a fence there. Never mind. Private property. Jeez. But yeah, that's one of the reasons that I kind of want to build a new 450, is just because the newer ones have more power, seem to be a little bit more, I wouldn't say reliable, because this thing's super reliable, but I guess more capable, especially with the CRF450RX. I don't think I'd get a CRF450L, because the whole reason I wanted to build the R how ridiculously fast it is. But the new R's have electric start, so but no, this thing, I put so much time and effort into this. This thing is my baby. Like, First build series that I did, every single thing on this bike was touched. I just got the suspension all reworked for me and the riding that I do. Now this thing it's not going anywhere. Number 4, and this kind of goes into that electric start point that I made, and after I tell you this, you're just going to be saying, well, it sounds like you just got the wrong bike, bro. Number 4 is mud performance. It doesn't. And honestly, like, this isn't really something that I would buy a bike for, because at least when I think about the riding that I plan to do, mud is never like in the cards. I don't specifically go out to go riding in the mud, but I feel like I end up in the mud more more often than I would like. And this thing, it doesn't perform in the mud at all. Supermoto tires, especially the ones I have, geez, these ones have like no tread, and not that they're like worn down, but they're street, like they're made for high performance. Like, these tires are the smallest size that you can get in them, and they're about the biggest that you could possibly stuff on this bike, because they're made to be put on a sport bike. They're the Bridgestone S21S. I think that's what they're called. They perform awesome on the street, like they have awesome grip, but I just slide around in even the slightest little bit of mud. But in all honesty, like, nothing is going to perform well enough in mud except for straight up dirt tires, like knobbies. And I have them, like, I still have the stock ones that came off of this bike, but that's the thing about stuffing that huge rear wheel on here. It's such a pain, man. That thing barely even fits on. I don't even want to mess with swapping the tires in and out all the time. I'd rather just have a dirt bike that I could ride, specifically when I want to go do that kind of stuff, which isn't often. Like, even the times where I end up off-road, 90% of the ride anyways is on the street. And I just don't like riding knobbies on the street, so it's not really an issue. But hey, I'm here to come up with things that I mildly annoyed by sometimes, so there's one of them. And number 5, and I don't even think I would say mildly annoyed by, because like it doesn't bother me, but I had to come up with something. Twitchy throttle, like you even like touch this thing and it, like, the power is there immediately. And I know that's how it's supposed to be. Again, you're probably saying, you got the wrong bike. But no, like, I like it. I would just say that in some situations, it's very slightly mildly annoying. And I would say like 0.001% of the time. But I figured since the things that I hate about my 450 were so tame, I'd bring you guys some bonus ones that you would think I would be annoyed by, but that actually don't bother me at all. Number 1, maintenance. It's not bad. Like, yes, it's more so than a street bike. It's more so than my WR250 was, but it's really not a problem. You guys know that I recently had the valves checked after somewhere in the range of 2,000 to 3,000 miles that I put on it, and they were within spec. Like, there's no problem. I've heard that with street riding on this thing, you can, you know, upwards of 150 hours without problems. So it's really not an issue, and oil changes take like little to no time at all. You don't have to really take off any fairings to do an oil change, whereas with my street bikes, I spend 10 to 15 minutes just getting the fairings off to do an oil change on my R6. I spend less time doing oil changes on this than I do on my R6. Who knew? Number 2 on things that you think I would hate, but actually don't bother me at all. My forged wheels. I have forged Marcassini wheels, and when I got them, I had a lot of people telling me, dude, you're gonna hate it, you're gonna break your forged wheels right away because they're not made for Supermoto, you're gonna want spoked wheels. Ignoring the fact that these are specifically made for Supermoto and that I ride all my riding on, or majority of all my riding on the street, I haven't had a single problem with them. I love them, and they look freaking amazing. How many other people have Marcassinis on their Supermoto? Not very many, and they look so good. Don't get me wrong, like, I love a good set of spoked rims, but I wanted to be unique with this thing. I wanted it to look good, and they perform really well. I could have went for a daily 100, but cops are around way too often for me to do that right here. So yeah, I love my forged wheels, man. But that's it, guys. That covers the 5 things I hate about my CRF450R, but actually don't hate, just mildly don't dislike, care for. What? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget, we got videos every single day this month. I've been Motonosity. You guys have been awesome. Remember, life's better with horsepower. Keep life lived, and I will see you guys tomorrow.